Got here for my first review a Swiss Army knife. This is the Victorinox One-hand Trekker. You can see that blade, what makes this one a little different from the other Trekkers in that it has this one-handed open hole in the blade here. We'll talk about that here in just a second. This knife is the closed length on this is 111 millimeters, which is, there's a certain class in Swiss Army knives that they're all 111. For those of us who don't operate in the metric system, that's 4.37 inches, so you'll know about how big that is. This knife is a little big for just dropping in your pocket. I don't really care for that all that much. I have something that I carried since I was in high school, back whenever it was okay to carry knives to school with you. This is the Tinker Swiss Army knife, so you can kind of get an idea of how much bigger this knife is overall. This one is nice in the pocket. The one-handed Trekker really needs a little help in that category, which we'll talk about here in just a second. So we slide that on out of the way. Got the one-handed blade on here. I'm going to open it with two hands so I don't hurt myself on camera. That would be kind of embarrassing. You have one-handed blade. This guy right here, the hole, just slip your thumb in there, flip it right open. This model that I have has the partially serrated blade. It's chisel grind. You see that it's only sharpened on sort of on one edge there. And you can also get this as a plain blade. Don't have to get it with the serrations if you don't like those. And then also you can get it with a black oxide blade. And the scales can also come in either black or camouflage. There's a camouflage version. There's also the German Army knife, which is a lot like this one, just doesn't have the tweezers and toothpick on the end. That German Army knife version has olive drab blades with the German Army logo stamped or molded into the scale there. So that one's nice. I was thinking about getting one of those. Haven't done it yet. This blade has a liner lock, which sort of pushes the opposite of what you find in just about everything else that you can buy. Be really careful when I shut this. I don't have any band-aids standing by. I probably should. Also along this, the second large blade on this is a really nice little saw. It's good for cutting small stuff. I don't think I'd try and cut down a whole tree with it, but you know, if you need to cut up something that's a little bit long and you don't want to just try and break it over your knee or whatever, this will do. This will do for it. It's pretty aggressive teeth on that. One thing you have to watch out for when you're closing this is those teeth, if you're pushing this sideways, will get caught on the liner, and so it won't close completely. And that's just because those teeth are so aggressive they catch on the liner. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Standard Swiss Army knife stuff. Small blade screwdriver, and then also can opener built in there. Pretty good can opener. I kind of like the Winger ones better, but that's just me. And you have a large blade screwdriver, flat blade screwdriver with the wire bender in it. This blade also has a lock to it, so you could use it to pry if you wanted to and not have it close on you like a regular one. So there you go. Then on the back side, you've got the reamer awl, which does not have a hole. Some of them have holes in them so that you can sort of stitch with them. This one doesn't have that. I usually use it just for the reamer part. Anyway, make holes bigger and whatnot. And then you got your standard Phillips screwdriver, Victorinox style T-handled screwdriver. I like that. It works for just about everything I use it for, but if you're getting into a tight spot, it's not going to help you all that much. So you may even want to look at something else, one of the multi-tools with the more straight action type screwdriver for Phillips. So, and then you also have, like I was mentioning before, toothpick and tweezers. Not the most grand tweezers in the world, but I've used these a couple of times to get splinters out of the kids' fingers and whatnot. So they're handy to have whenever you need tweezers. You need tweezers. And then on the other side, which I have sort of blocked off by this clip, which we're going to talk about here in just a second, a lovely Victorinox toothpick. What else I've got here, which is what I more wanted to talk about, besides this really nice, handy to have around knife, is this Eclipse, the Nite Ize Eclipse pocket clip. It's self-locking, what they call self-locking. It's got this little, let me see if I can get it around here where you can see it. This little thing here that whenever it slips in a piece of cloth, or like your pocket edge or whatever slips up in there, these little guys that sort of dig in, and they keep the whole unit from sliding off of whatever it is that it's clipped to. So you have to manually push that down at the same time as you're pulling off of the pocket. So let me see if I can sort of demo this for you. It's like this is, oh, let me show you this packaging here. This is what this looks like. This is the rainbow model. There's also a plain model. I think they have a black too, but I could never find that one. This one was on sale. I got this one off for like $4. I think it was at countycom.com. Or I might have actually gone to Amazon. I'm not sure. I can put a link in the annotations. So anyway, material from your like jeans slides up in here, and then this little guy will engage that material and not want to come off until you actually push and then slide everything off at once. So it's got this 3M GHB tape, which they use for car molding, things like that, so it can get wet and it's going to stay stuck on there really good. I haven't had any problem with it coming loose. I'll tell you what I don't like about this. In general, I like having this knife attached to my pocket. Yes, I have it set up for its tip up, but that's just the way I wanted to carry this one. This little guy right here is so far out there that it catches on all sorts of fun stuff. And by that fact, this locking mechanism, if you have this on a pair of jeans, will just eat a hole in your jeans pocket. And I can probably put a still photo of what that looks like on my pocket, where I actually have a nice hole in my jeans. But this big opening on the clip here acts like a funnel, and anything else that wants to can just get a hold of that and pull that clip up and get you all hung up in it. So I had a coat with toggle built into the bottom of it, which I probably should have taken off anyway, just so I wouldn't get it all hung up on stuff. Turns out it got hung up on my knife, and it really made me mad. So I used the lovely serrated blade on this one-handed trekker to just take that guy right off the bottom of my coat. I would advise doing that for just about anything anyway. Nobody wants to get hung on stuff. I could have lost my knife because of that. Reached in my pocket after a long day, no knife in there, couldn't figure out what I'd done with it, pulled my coat on, and my knife started bouncing off my leg and it was dangling off the bottom of that toggle. So it's good for, I guess, if you're going to have an iPhone or something, which is the way they show this, is attached to electronics, and they show it attached to pants. I don't know. If you don't mind it eating a hole in your pants, go right ahead. As it is, I would say, if it's not for heavy use, great. So there you have it. It's a good thing and a bad thing if you can live with the drawbacks. What would I do to change it? I may take this locking piece off, rebend this a little where it's tighter, squeeze it down a little bit, and then put a little piece of grip tape underneath that edge of that clip, so on the back side, to give it a little tooth and keep it from sliding around, so that it has more of a clamping force and a little bit of something to keep it from sliding. So if I decide to do that mod, I'll let you guys know. Otherwise, I may rip this whole thing off of here and do something else. So I'll keep you updated. Thanks, you guys.